Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Erin. For today's yoga class, we will be coming to some lunges quite a bit through our practice. So if you have any sensitivity, I would grab a cushion for your knees or even a blanket for extra support. You can come to a kneeling position like I'm in, or you're welcome to be in a cross-legged position, whichever one works better for you. Wherever you're at, you want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, as if there's a string pulling from the crown of your head all the way up to the top of the ceiling. We'll start by setting an intention for our practice today. So softly closing your eyes or softening your gaze. My intention I'm working with today is going slow, listening to my body, doing what's right for me. You can set that intention, or maybe it's just getting through this practice. Wherever you're at, we're going to seal our intention with a breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Keeping your eyes open, or keeping your eyes closed rather, or your gaze soft. We'll bring one hand to our chest, one hand to our stomach as we come to our breath again. Filling up and letting go. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Again, filling up and letting it go. Softly blink your eyes open if you had closed them. Bring your hands down. Bring your shoulders up and back. Now we'll link our breath with our movement. So inhale, sweep your arms overhead. As you exhale, we're going to bend our elbows, keeping our arms in line with our shoulders. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, drop your right hand down, making sure you're stabilizing through your left hip so it doesn't come up. We're going to reach over, all the way over to our left side, or rather our right side. Inhale brings us back up to center. Exhale, we'll go the other way, dropping your left hand down. Again, making sure you're not lifting up through your right hip as you reach over to your left side. Inhale, coming back up through center. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale as you reach over to your right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, come all the way over to our left. One more time each way. Exhale as you reach to your right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale as you reach all the way over to your left. Inhale, coming back to center. From here, we're going to transition, coming to a tabletop position. You can grab your blanket or your cushion for your knees. Coming to tabletop, making sure you have your knees in line with your hips and your shoulders right over your wrist. We're going to start by doing some little circles here, going in a clockwise way. So circling forward and then coming back, circling over our wrist, coming back. Do it one more time before we change directions. Then we'll stop and go counterclockwise. Do 3 more circles. You can make these movements as big or small, whatever feels good for you. 1 more circle. Then coming to neutral. Again, knees are in line with our hips. shoulders over your wrists. We're going to start with a couple cat-cows here. Dropping our belly down, tailbone lifts up, head comes up as you fill up. Exhale, tucking your tailbone, arching through your back, letting your head drop down. Inhale, coming back to your cow, tailbone up, belly comes down as you look forward. Exhale, head comes down, tucking your tailbone, arching through your back, belly button to spine. One more time each way. Inhale, coming back to your cow, lifting up your head, your tailbone. Exhale, tucking your tailbone, dropping your head down, rounding through your spine. Inhale, coming to neutral spine. Bringing your big toes together, we're going to bring our hips towards our heels. If you do have any sensitivity in child's pose, you can bring your blanket right over your legs to accommodate that. Gives you a little bit more space if you need it. You can have your knees together or your knees apart. You can have your arms out in front of you or bring your arms behind you as you rest your forehead down. So choosing whichever option works for you. We're going to take a couple breaths here in our child's pose. Now remember, throughout our class today, if you need to take a rest, this is a perfect position to come to. Coming back to our breath here, making sure we're inhaling and exhaling through our nose. On your next inhale, lift your head up and snake your way forward, coming all the way down onto your belly. You want to make sure you have the tops of your feet pressed firmly into your mat and your tailbone is pointed toward your heels. Have your fingertips under your shoulders and your elbows in toward your body. We're going to lift our forehead and chest up only a little bit, coming to a low cobra. So rolling your shoulders back and down. Inhale lifts you up. Take a breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. Tuck your toes. On your next inhale, push yourself all the way up, bringing your hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. You want to make sure you have your fingertips spread wide. The creases of your elbows are turned out. If you have any tension in the back of your legs, bend your knees. That will help accommodate that. From here, we're going to pedal out. So bending one knee and then straightening out the other. And then just keep going, changing legs here, bending one leg, straightening out the other. Taking your time, letting your head hang. Then we'll come to stillness here. Bring our knees down, coming back to our child's pose. Maybe this time you try a different version of child's pose. Just do what works for you. Again, either knees apart or knees together. Your hands in front of you or hands behind you. And then just bringing your forehead down to rest. We won't be here too long. If you had moved your hands behind you, bring them in front of you. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, snake it forward, back to your cobra. Again, we're just warming up here. Pressing the tops of your feet down, tailbone down towards your heels. Fingertips under your shoulders, elbows in. On your next inhale, lift your head and chest up. Take a breath here, and then on your next exhale, slowly come back down. Tuck your toes. On your next inhale, push your hips up and back, coming back to downward facing dog. Making sure you have your fingertips spread wide, creases of your elbows turned out. Again, you can bend your knees here or have your legs straight, whichever is more comfortable. Be careful of what's behind you. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee towards your chest and then slowly set it down between your hands and resting your left leg back behind you. Making sure you have your right foot flat on your mat and your knee tracked over your ankle. From here, using our right thigh for support, we're going to come all the way up. On your inhale, bring your arm up overhead. You can have your back foot tucked or untucked. From here, push your hips forward. Remember, we're just going slow here, so taking our time. Exhale, bringing your hands down, slowly moving your right leg back, tucking your toes, pushing your hips up and back, coming back to your downward facing dog. Bending your knees, coming down, hips towards your heels. Child's pose. Remember the different options. You can choose whichever one you'd like to choose. Next inhale, lift your head up. Exhale as you snake your way forward, coming back to your Cobra pose. Fingertips under your shoulders, elbows in, pressing into the tops of your feet. On your next inhale, slowly lifting your chest up, shoulders back and down. Exhale, coming all the way down. Tuck your toes. Inhale, push your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bringing it towards your chest, then slowly setting it down, making sure you get that left foot flat, your knees tracked over your ankle, taking your time, using your thigh for support, coming all the way up. Inhale, bring your right arm up. Push your hips forward. Your back toes can be tucked or untucked, whichever is more comfortable for you. Shoulders are down and away from your ears. Coming to your breath here. Exhale, hands down, bringing your leg back behind you. Tuck your toes, push yourself up. Downward facing dog. And then bend your knees, choosing your option of child's pose. Bring your forehead all the way down. Coming back to your breath. Inhale, lifting your head up. Exhale, snaking it forward. Building on our sequence now. You can continue with your Cobra, or you're welcome to join me in coming to upward facing dog with your thighs off the ground. So it's the same position. You just push yourself all the way up. Exhale, come all the way down. Tuck your toes. Push up to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, bring it through. Slowly setting your knee down. Making sure you have your right foot flat and your knee tracked over your ankle. Maybe you come up hands free. Maybe you keep using your leg for support. Shoulders are down and away from your ears. Make sure you're not flaring out your rib cage, but rather your rib cage is in. Your core is strong. Exhale, bringing your hands down, bringing your left hand down to the inside of your right foot, and then bringing your right hand up towards the ceiling as we rotate all the way over to the right side. You can look up at your hand, or you can have your head in a neutral position, whichever feels better. Exhale, hands down. Bring your right leg back, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Coming back to your downward facing dog. From here, building on our sequence, we're going to roll forward, coming to either full plank or supported plank, whichever one feels best for you. Wherever you're at, we're going to lower all the way down. Remember your options here. Cobra with your fingertips under your shoulders, elbows in, pressing your tops of your feet down, lifting up. Maybe you lift your thighs off the ground, upward facing dog. Exhale, coming all the way back down, tucking your toes. Inhale, pushing yourself all the way up, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bring it through. Bringing it in between your hands. Again, maybe you come up hands free. Maybe you use your thigh for support. Coming all the way up. Making sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Push your hips forward. Coming back to your breath. Exhale, bringing your right hand down. As you bring your left arm up to the ceiling, again, you can look up at your hand or keep your head in a neutral position. Exhale, bring your hand back down. Slowly bring your leg back behind you. Tuck your toes, push your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Roll it forward to either supported plank or full plank. Slowly lower down, either coming to your cobra or your up dog. Exhale, come down. Tuck your toes. Push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bring it through. Sitting your back knee down. Inhale, making sure you have your foot flat, your front foot flat, and your knee tracked over your ankle. Inhale brings you all the way up. Push your hips forward. Exhale. Left hand down. Right hand lifts up towards the ceiling as you rotate over to your right. Again, you can look up at your hand, keep your head neutral. Whichever one works best for you. Exhale, hands down. Bring your right leg back behind you. Tuck your toes. Fingers are spread wide. Push your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, roll it forward to either supported plank or full plank. Slowly lower down. Either cobra or up dog. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come all the way back down. Tuck your toes. Inhale, push your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg behind you. Exhale, bring it through. Making sure you get that front foot flat. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, left hand down, or right hand down, left hand up as you rotate towards your left. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Slowly bring your left leg behind you. Tuck your toes. Push your hips up and back. We're going to go through that one more time. So slowly rolling forward to your plank. Coming all the way down. Lifting up to either your Cobra or up dog. Exhale brings you back down. Tuck your toes. Inhale, pushing your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Right leg up behind you. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale, coming all the way up. Shoulders away from your ears. Pushing your hips forward. Maybe you arch your back a little bit, bringing your arms back behind you. Exhale, left hand down, right hand up as you rotate towards your right. Bringing your hand back down, slowly bringing your right leg back, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling it forward to your supported or full plank, lowering all the way down to either your up dog or your Cobra. Exhale, coming back down, tucking your toes, pushing your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg up. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale, coming all the way up. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Push your hips forward. Maybe you reach your hands back behind you a little bit, arching through your back. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up as you rotate towards your left. Left hand down, bring your left leg back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Then bend your knees, bringing them all the way down. Big toes to touch. Your option for child's pose. Bringing your hips towards your heels and bringing your forehead all the way down. Choosing whichever option works best with your hands either out in front of you or behind you. And coming back to your breath. On your next inhale, slowly lift your head up. Snake it forwards, coming all the way down to your belly. Coming to Sphinx pose now. So, first option is to have your shoulder right over your elbow. Your legs are, of course, back behind you. Tops of your feet press into your mat. I'm going to turn the other way so I can show you another option. You can have your blanket underneath your chest for a little bit more support. So you lay your blanket flat, coming all the way down. And you can spread your elbows out a little bit wider if that makes it more comfortable for your lower back. So choose whichever option works best for you. Make sure you have your shoulders down and away from your ears. And you're looking directly in front of you, not lifting your head up too high, but your head is in a neutral position. Coming back to your breath. We'll take just a few more breaths here. And then slowly bring your elbows out super wide so that you're coming almost all the way down onto your chest. Stack your hands one on top of the other, and then slowly bring your forehead to rest on your hands like a little pillow. This is crocodile pose, one of my favorites. We'll just take a couple breaths here. Really enjoying this relaxing pose. And then on your next inhale, slowly lift up. We're going to transition, coming all the way onto our backs. Coming down onto your backs with your knees bent. We're going to come to a twist. So bringing your arms out to a T and pressing into your feet. You're going to lift up your hips and then move your hips all the way over to your left side as you set down your right hip. So you kind of land on the side of your hip. Bring your knees in together, and then on your exhale, bring your knees towards your chest and then slowly bring them down, trying to keep them together as much as possible. You can keep your head looking up at the ceiling, or if you want a little bit of an extra stretch, slowly rotate your head towards your left. And then come back to your breath. Focus on your breathing. Maybe noticing any sensations that you're feeling. We'll just take a few more breaths here. And on your next inhale, slowly, one at a time, bring your legs back to neutral. If you turned your head slowly, make sure you have your head back in neutral position as well. We'll take a breath here before moving on to the other side. So keeping your arms where they are at, having your feet down, push into your feet, lift your hips up, move your hips all the way over to your right side as you set your hips down on your left hip. Bring your knees together and in towards your chest, and then exhale. Drop your legs down to your left side. Again, option for your head, you can either look straight up at the ceiling or slowly rotate your head towards your right. Coming back to your breath. Slowly move your head back to center. Then on your next inhale, one leg at a time. Bring your legs back up. Bring your legs to your chest, give them a little hug. And then rolling over to one side, making your way up to a seated position with your legs out in front of you, coming to staff pose, making sure you're sitting up on your sit bones, shoulders down and away from your ears, toes are pointed up at the ceiling or even back towards you, your feet are flexed. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging from your hips, folding forward, landing your hands on the outside of your legs. Again, you want to be nice and elongated here, not rounding or hunching over to reach your feet or anything like that, but nice and elongated. Shoulders are back and down. Coming back to our breath here. Maybe you grab hold of your ankles. Maybe you can reach your toes or your feet. Continue focusing on your breath. Then if you had grabbed your ankles or your feet, let go. Let your feet flop. Let your head hang. And then on your next inhale, slowly roll yourself all the way up. Now to finish out our practice today, I have two options for you. So you can either come onto your backs with your knees tented, so you bring your feet out wider than your hips, so about the width of your mat, and then bring your knees together, tenting them, and then laying down, palms facing up. So that's option one. Option two is legs up the wall. So you can either come to a wall or your sofa, get as close as you can with your body, come down onto your elbows, swing your legs up onto your wall or your sofa, and then slowly turn yourself so that your bottom is pressed against the wall or your furniture. And then let your arms fall by your sides with your palms facing up. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. And then relax your forehead. Flex the muscles in your cheeks. Make sure you relax your jaw. I'm going to go quiet here to give you space. Just know that I'll get you when the time is ready. Slowly start to take a deeper breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you take an overhead stretch. Slowly bring your legs towards your chest. And then rolling all the way over to your right side. Taking your time, leaving your eyes open or closed. Pushing yourself up using your hands. Coming to a seated position with either your legs crossed or out in front of you. Bring your palms together in the center of your chest. And then close your eyes or soften your gaze and come back to your intention. Take a nice deep breath in. Open your mouth and let it out with a sigh. Blink your eyes open. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. Thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you soon.